is the Canadian model of occupational performance and engagement. And the engagement piece was actually added later as they thought about it and realized that someone can actually engage in an occupation without performing it. And the example they used in the book was a man who engaged in triathlons even though he was in a wheelchair, because his father would push him and drag him behind on the bike and carry him through the water. So they completed triathlons together. He engaged in that, but he didn't actually perform the actions himself. So it's a broader perspective on how people can participate in occupations. At the center of the model is the person, represented by this triangle. And the person has different aspects, including affective or emotional, physical, cognitive, and spirituality is really at the core essence of a person. And then around the outside, you see the person's whole environment, which has physical, institutional, cultural, and social components. And then bridging the two is occupation. And that is divided into 3 different areas: self-care, productivity, and leisure.
Hello? Hello? Yes, Ms. Campbell, I'm on the store right now. I'll be right there. Hold on. Good afternoon. This is Room 112 Newscast, and today's top story concerns the Canadian... Don't want to lose accent. Okay. Canadian model of occupational performance and engagement. We are going to talk today about why you should use this model in your next therapy session. For me, the CMOP-E is important from my volunteer experience with the senior source because it does not discriminate by age. Oh look, I see a group of TW students now. Let's ask them about the lovely, well-versed CMOP-E. Hello, welcome to Room 112 Newscast. I want to know, how does the CMOP-E help you in your fieldwork?
Well, Ellie Mae, at the Jewish Community Center, each member is driven by their faith, and the CMOP-E reflects how spirituality is at the core of every person. The center is also available for all genders, ages, and disabilities, just like the model.
Hi, Ellie Mae.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm at the Catholic Charities of Dallas, and they use a holistic approach where they focus on the entire person and the community and working to increase quality of life for all of their elderly clients.
That's just wonderful.
I'm at Sam Tesby Middle School working with the refugee population, and the way I think of it is these refugees have come over, most of them straight from refugee camps, and are now living in Dallas. Talk about an environment change. So this change affects their occupation. Some of them, the students are now taking the role of students, whereas in the refugee camps they weren't students, and the adults now are looking at occupations here that they did not have at the refugee camps.
Hi, Ellie Mae. I'm at the BMLC Center, and as we said before, its mission is to promote literacy skills to English language learners. The BMLC embodies the CMOP-E in the fact that people are wanting to improve their lives through learning and represents the person aspect of this model, and also the engagement in that they're taking an active role in their education. And the environment is welcoming and accepts all people, which maximizes learning.
Hello. I'm at the International Rescue Committee, and we work with the refugee population also. What this model kind of taught me about working in this environment was that their environment, including their culture, is very unique to them, and it's changing. It's a drastic change from where they used to be, and that can affect the occupations that they're able to engage in. Not that they can't perform them, but just the engagement may be limited in our culture.
Wonderful. And I'm at the Barracks Youth and Family Center, where they mostly work with DISD students. And they understand that the students' whole environment and not just school is going to impact how they perform and engage in the occupation of being a student. So they provide family therapy, community referrals, classes for the parents to address that student's whole environment. And they also address various aspects of the students as a person because they care for physical, emotional, and mental health care needs.
Well, this is all just great information. But how do you know so much about the CMOP-E?
We'll show you!
What does CMOP-E stand for?
Canadian.
Model of occupational
Performance.
engagement. Where does this model originate?
Canadian.
Association.
Of occupational.
What assessment tool is used?
Canadian.
Occupational.
Performance.
Measure, not model. What are the major components of the CMOP-E?
Oh, we're coming.
We represent the person.
This is the affective
Cognitive.
And physical components at our core is
Spirituality.
Together, we make the occupational component. This includes self-care.
Productivity and leisure.
We're in the environment. It consists of physical, institutional.
Social and cultural components.
Hey Meredith, wouldn't it be great if we had a tune to remember on the spot?
Well, yes, it would, and we have that phrase. We are all required to participate.
The louder you are, the less you can hear us.
This is so long.
Yeah.
Poor student.
Oh, she couldn't hear.
Yes.
strives for. It's holistic and it takes many aspects into account, such as the person, the environment, and it engages the person through engagement. It focuses on the person, so it's very client-centered. And then there's a quote that's actually in your brochure, and I think it kind of sums up the model. It's engagement provides the widest perspective on occupation.